Hello, welcome to the Endgame Base building guide, and also I'll just give you a lot of tips on how to use the base itself. Now, it also depends on how much you want to play. If you want to play 50 hours, then you should only go up to tier 3. Tier 3 is enough for whatever you might need in the early game and the mid game. If you want to go for the end game, go for it, but you will need all of your resources and 100 hours plus. It also depends on how you play, and also the recent updates, you might need a lot less time to gather those resources since everything is a little easier now. The main upgrade related to base building will actually be the last one, which is production efficiency over here, which is a bit weird because it doesn't really tell you what it does, and it's 10,000 iron plates. Yes, iron plates. Or was it one? No, I think it's 1,000 iron plates. Still is a huge amount of iron plates you need to make, so basically keep all of them and don't waste many of them. Now, what are all of these upgrades here? Well, basically the production efficiency, from what I understand and from what I can see, will actually be super important because it reduces the amount of materials you need to create basic stuff. For example, the copper, the iron, and the plastic plates, instead of costing 50, they'll cost 25, and also they'll be made much faster. I don't remember what was the crafting time before I got this one, so let's just see when this one expires. So yeah, if you want to get into base building, there is no way around it. You'll have to get this upgrade because I think it will also count for the rags and some of the other stuff. But let me see how much we need to craft one. So how much time? Yeah, 30 seconds. I think this was 1 minute or something like that. So this is huge because with the current update, you can craft offline. So basically you give the order to create, let's say, 100 iron plates, and you leave the game, you come back in 2 or 3 hours, they're crafted. So offline crafting really works now. There are a lot of other benefits you will have as well. Let me see. Yeah, I think this used to be 50 as well. So the endgame resources are much easier to craft right now if you get this upgrade. As you can see, this was 50 ammunition to craft one explosive, one is 25. Massive upgrade, massive change. Another very important, actually two important things you need to know about base building. You can actually switch all of the structures around, there's no problem. So build whatever you like, wherever you like. And also another very important thing is that you might be, I don't know, maybe disappointed by the energy management, because to make the energy stuff, the wind turbines, you need, well, you need 1,000 fiber. I was going to say millions of fiber, but it's not millions, it's just 1,000. You can actually go over here and turn off the buildings that you don't need, for example the Artisan, and then just activate the buildings you need, which is great because that means you can do whatever you like with only 10 energy, which is the basic one you get from the base. So again, it's very easy to use it, and you have a lot of stuff to work with. By the way, you know what these do? Well, they don't really do anything. You can just put a hull over here and work on it, just in case you don't want to do something else for it. Enter it, put it over here, and now it doesn't appear any longer in your selection screen. Also, you can work basically on anything you like over here for it. Cargo hold. Enter over here. And it will allow you to basically put stuff from your base inventory on it. Yeah, this is my base inventory. I just had to double check. So this is the stuff on the boat itself, and this is the stuff on my base. You can basically build whatever you like without needing to equip it, without needing to put it in an inventory. As you can see, I was working on a Vigilant, which is a tier 3 boat, and it has a plastic hull, so it's super fast, and I also put some of the excess stuff I had on it. And it kind of mirrors my own little boat, except the cannons are put in a different direction, and as you can see, it's not so bad. It's a Vigilant with maximum weapons, maximum cannons, and they're all tier 2. So it's a great thing, and you can also just leave it over there in case it annoys you, so you don't have to click one more time over here. Well, let me see. I think we have 2 of these, yeah. Enter it, and let's put this thing over here, and then don't tell anyone. And now when you cast off, you only have 1 ship selected, which is a huge help, especially if you're going to play the game a lot. Also disable the music, so there's no more bass music. And as you can see, they also improve some of the other things, like performance. So the game is being updated so much, you will actually spend more time in game because it's a lot easier now. Now, that was the part of the game that I covered the base building and the tips. Now, let's go over the stuff. Why did I say you only need to go to tier 3? Because at tier 3 you get a lot of the more important stuff. And you get the pillar fishing boat superstructure, which is very, very good. And over here, well, we'll say a little bit about that as well. You have the medium battery, which is, I imagine, very good, and the devil steel generators. So you have these 3 items over here. Armor, I don't recommend you build any of it, because it's not really worth it now. In case you don't find anything better, you can craft it, but it's not so good. Board, this is only going to fit on a Vigilant, if I remember correctly, because my own boat needs a very, very heavy one. Because this is what they could do to show you, because the engine slots are different. So very big outboard motor boat. That's 4. And the other ones have 3 or something like that. Anyway, you get the idea.
City of Tree.
So, let's go over the stuff that you need. Like I showed you over here, you'll need the medium battery, the devil steam generator, because this is how you're supposed to replenish your ship. Or, well, let's just say you're going to replace the basic stuff that you have, because you don't have the slots for it anymore. And just put a few of these, and that will be much better. Also for the weapons, probably tier 3 is where most people say that's enough. I don't want to farm 100 hours more. Like I said, the armor is not good, and these are just some of the buildings you can unlock, like the autoclave and some of the other stuff. Again, it's not so important, but you might want to use it for the basic stuff, the foundry and that. And from over here, the pillar fishing boat superstructure is the one that I have. Maybe you will want some of the Riviera stuff or some of the Tag wheelhouse, but again, they're not so good. As for the stuff over here, again, they're not so good because they just don't give you much. You can also have a Neyreyan boat cabin with a gunner nest, and we'll actually see how that is like right now because I made one. Also unlock this thing to make the cloth, but you actually have to unlock the loom, which is unlocked much later. And that's at tier 5, and then you have the explosive, the reagents, the motor over here. Yeah. I guess that will be a problem. You might want to go up to tier 4 if you like, but it's still not going to be worth it. The loom. Because basically the pillar fishing structure is everything you need. It has a lot of health and it's very easy to repair. As you can see, it only costs scrap and plastic, not much of it anyway. And if you can get your hands on one of these motors, the very big outward boat motor, well, you'll be very, very lucky, but if not, I guess you just have to use the single slot one, which will be annoying. And it doesn't really say how much capacity these batteries have, but it's a lot, trust me, it's a lot. So 5,800. Oh wow, that's a lot of capacity. That's 1,000 something, 1,300 capacity. Now I have to repaint it. As you can see, you don't need much. Also for the generators, the Devil Steam generators, you can see that's more than enough. It's going to be 27 something if you're lucky, otherwise it's going to be 24. It's a lot easier to put it on the boat than the other stuff.
City of Tree.
Yeah, so the only problem will be you will not really have access to the engine anyway if you have a tier 4 boat. So you might as well just, I don't know, get lucky and find it, or just continue developing the technologies. Now, as for the other stuff related to the base over here, the superstructure, like I said, oh yeah, like I said I'll show you the areas. The thing, some of the stuff, some of the later stuff will be so big you'll not be able to use it anyway. Because you'll not have enough space to fit it on your boat, plus the weight will be massive. There's also not really many ways for you to see that, unless you craft it. So as you can see, this is a massive structure. I wanted to make it so I can put it behind over here. Yeah, it can even have a cannon. But if you make something like this on your boat, you don't really have enough space for much else, do you? So I guess this is what I'll do next. I'll just have to replace this whole part over here with this thing over here. Look kind of weird, but kind of amazing at the same time, and the pillar superstructure will have to remain. So this is what I'll probably do off camera and rearrange my boat a little bit. But other than that, as you can see, you don't really need much. The sides will be protected by the big scavenger shields and so on. And from now on, everything you build at tier 4 or 5 will just be like this, which means it will be huge, very heavy, and as you can see, doesn't really, not really worth it, because this has almost as much HP as the pillar superstructure. I think they'll change the HP on this one, or I might have just gotten very, very lucky when I crafted it, but it's not really worth it. You can also make the Fujin fan motor, which as you can see, they give you quite a bit of a boost speed. So even though you don't go to the next tier of research and building, you still have a lot of speed, and yeah, like I said, the guard really might like you the motor.
City.
But that's basically everything you need for the basic base building in the mid game, and if you want to go to the end game, definitely go for this one over here, efficiency. Then you'll unlock some really, really cool and crazy stuff, but to be honest, you need a tier 5 boat to use this stuff. And the resources needed to craft some of that is massive. I cannot explain how much materials you can waste on crafting some of that stuff, because it's really not going to... It's not going to really sound true. For example, over here, you might think, well, that's not a lot, but look at the regens. The regens are very hard to craft, and to find, well, that's even worse. You can also press Alt over here to inspect how many slots it will occupy, and this is kind of like a good estimation, but keep in mind that you'll have to count them manually, and you have to count your boat rows as well to see if it fits or not. The fish shiner turret will also be kind of interesting to make, but as you can see, iron plates will be the name of the game. And even though it has 9 slots over here for a cannon, as you can see, it's 5 by 5, which is a bit too much, so you definitely can put one in the back, but I think I'll just go with the Ares for now, and then I'll see a bit later. And some of this stuff, you don't see the HP because it's kind of a variable thing. So the end game will just be about making your ship as pretty as you can, or as ugly but as efficient as you can. And tier 5, as you can see, I haven't even unlocked it. It's so big and massive and heavy. This superstructure over here is a bit weird, so it has 3, it has 6. Oh, nice, so I can put over here 2 cannons. But you see, the occupy so many slots is not going to be really that interesting. Let's look at some of the other cabins over here. Motorboat 1, oh, you can have cannons on top of it. I cannot really see. Ah, no, you cannot have the cannons on top of it because it has a very weird layout. Layer rocket boat. Well, I guess this has a massive amount of HP just by looking at it. There's 3 slots on top of it. Yeah, I'm just looking at stuff right now. Probably this is the one that I wanted to craft, like I said. Still not going to be enough unless I get a tier 5. Yeah, I guess we can look, but there's not much you can look at. The Riviera might also be a very good option, but as you can see, it is over here 7 slots. And over here you can only fit 1 cannon, and that's going to be a big problem because you not have enough space for your other stuff. So even though it sounds fancy and looks cool, it's not going to be really enough. Anyway, I think I covered most of the important stuff, and now you know how to put your boats over there, how to make the boats better. I don't think I have anything else left to cover. Yeah, I didn't cover the skills because... not the skills, the quests. Just because they're so random and so weird to make that sometimes you just get stuck. But usually you have to speak with someone that is in the base or in the city itself or so on. Now, you might be wondering, why don't I recommend crafting at tier 4 anything? Well, tier 4 is super expensive and it's also very expensive to repair. This thing over here that boosts your engine power by 15 costs a lot of resources, and I think it costs copper plates to repair, and this is only the basic stuff. Yeah, you might be able to craft some of this stuff, but look at this one, the mid-size funnel. It's huge and it's going to be super expensive to repair after that as well, and this is copper plates, 1000 copper plates, so don't even try it. And why did I say stop at the Devil Steam Generator? Well, as you can see, this one is pretty easy to make and it's pretty cheap. I guess I can reroll one more to see if I get something useful, but the sterling needs a lot of chemical waste plus a lot of iron plates, and the radioscope is 1200. I don't think these numbers will change over time. Just note that it's kind of risky to make them right now unless you're in the proper end game, because you need guns, superstructures, and after that you can think about the engines. And after that, maybe the power generators, and maybe that after more batteries and stuff, thing like that. But don't make them too early, because you'll be in a lot of trouble if you make them. Easy to repair, they say. But look at the cost in iron plates. So you might also want to create more of these things. More foundries, not foundries, furnace, more furnaces, and more weaponry workshops. Just because you want to create a lot of plates, a lot of iron plates, and also a lot of gun parts. And you might also want to make the one for the copper as well, copper plates, because you'll be needing a lot of it as well. So 2 foundries, 2 furnaces, 2 weapon parts producer, or the, what are these called? The weaponry workshop, 2 weaponry workshops, and then I guess I could make them right now, but I just want to get more resources, and then Artisan workshop. So to end the video, I'll just show you what is in the Artisan workshop. You can make the toy car collection and the trophy fish collection. So as you can see, at some point you get the fish and the cars. Now, where do you get them? I guess you can get them from dredging locations or from some other areas. Maybe some special dredging areas, because I already got a toy car and it's kind of, I don't know, it's hilarious. I like it a lot. And that's what you do with the Artisan workshop.
Sit.
Also, I would say you probably will be able to make a lot more cosmetics over here. Yeah, decorations. Because currently you can buy from the store a lot of stuff. So all of these are decorations you can buy multiple times, but only the ones that you see over here will be available. What is a better way to end the video than just by looking at the cat? The cat is huge. I think it's a 3x3 slot, so that's why I don't put it on my boat anymore. So yeah. Enjoy, it's very nice. Bye bye.